Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about salaries of nurses in Canada. I don't think the nursing profession should be judged based on the salary. I think the nursing profession is one of the best professions you can choose from. They don't rank the highest in terms of their salary, but you'll see in different provinces, as I explain in a minute here, there's different wages based on your experience, what the nature of your job entails, and if you have any specialty training. So let's go ahead and get started. The first province I'm going to talk about is British Columbia. So I reside in British Columbia and I know the wages of nurses very well. For BC, I know that the new grads, for me, I get paid approximately, this is for registered nurses, by the way, guys. So approximately for registered nurses, they make an hourly wage of $34.83. Now I will post, I'll probably have the wage scale up here, and so you'll see that there's different levels. So for example, year one, so that's technically a new grad, you get $34.83, and every year it goes up by approximately $2. So the second year you'll make $36.17, 30 or $37.51, and based on the nature of the job. So for example, level 3 is your floor nurse, and level 4 is your charge nurse and anything equivalent to that. Level 5 is the hospital charge nurse. I'm not too sure about level 6, but in general, unionized, you start, since the nursing profession is unionized, you start off with the most basic level, like usually level 1, and as you develop experiences and skills, you go up the wage scale. But in terms of your level going up, that relies upon, once again, the nature. So for example, usually like administrative or leadership positions, for example, the patient coordinator, or for example, the manager will get paid a little bit more. But that's generally what it's like throughout the country of Canada. So let's go take a look at, for example, Alberta. Now, Alberta is a special case. I couldn't find really their collective agreement. One of their agreements was a bit old, and so I'll pull it up now. The only one I could find is the 2013 to 2017 agreement, and in this agreement it states that every year you can see April 2013 it started off 34.31, it went all the way up till 36.86, starting off as a new grad nurse in Alberta. Now, Indeed, it did mention that nurses generally make $35 to $48 an hour, and that's roughly the ballpark of what the nursing salary collective agreement mentions as well. The next province we're going to go ahead and talk about is Saskatchewan. So once again, the collective agreement, it mentioned that the nurses approximately make $36 all the way upwards up to $47. And once again, all these provinces, I'll mention again that based on the nature of what you do. So for example, sometimes if you're a specialty nurse, or for example, if you have critical care training, if you have ICU training, all these things play a factor in your wage, of course, right? If you have like a master's, that'll probably get you a wage increase and all that stuff. And you can always talk to your union rep, and they will tell you if you should be getting paid more. And who knows, maybe you might be due for a pay raise and you didn't know that. Next, we'll move on to Manitoba. Now, Manitoba, you need to sign up for their website, and since I don't live in Manitoba, I obviously didn't sign up for it. But a general ballpark is $39.50 for a new grad, all the way up to $50 is what I found on Indeed, and one of the older collective agreements from like 2013 to 2017. I'll post all the sources that I got all these information from in the description box below so you guys can take a look. So next we're going to talk about Ontario, Ontario, the nurses, it states in their collective agreement that they make upwards of $21.75 all the way up to $40. Indeed seemed to think that it was $34 what they started off with, and then all the way up to $45. In Quebec, now Quebec indicated that they make roughly around $18 an hour, all the way up to $27. And then all the northern provinces, you'll most likely find that the wages are a little bit increased due to the lack of registered nurses that are wanting to actually practice there. Unfortunately, the rural areas as well, all of these provinces, they definitely have their rural areas. In those rural areas, you can definitely expect maybe some a little bit of wage increase rather, based on the necessity and need. So rural nursing is definitely a challenge due to the collective agreement that we're all on. I mean, think about it logically. I doubt many nurses, especially when I was going to school, not many of them wanted to go to the rural cities just because it was farther and you would get paid the exact same. It made no sense. But anyways, that's a topic for later, and I hope that this has informed you about how much nurses make. I will go ahead and say that nurses, this is just a rough ballpark, right? Nurses also make a little bit more because they work on weekends. They get all these differential pays, right? So for example, if you work on weekends, if you work on night shifts on weekends, you get paid more. Night shifts generally pay a little bit more. You know, all these different factors. If you work on like a stat, if you work short call, all these different factors play a role in your wage, and that actually adds up quite a bit. And I'll definitely post a video on what I think is the best route in terms of getting the most wage increase. I'll tell you right now that I think being a casual nurse, especially as a new grad, is a very, very valuable experience for all for every province, really, because I know that for example in BC, nurses get a bit more, but I'll discuss that in a later video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys later.